And you're going to ask me a question, right, to get us started? Okay.
What is going on, Moon Gang? Very, very excited to bring this to all of you. We are here with Mr. Wes Christian, and honestly, this is the lawyer who's taking on Wall Street manipulation, and this time around, it's specific to the Ape Nation community. I know this was the hot topic on the stream today, social media, all that stuff, so I figured, why not reach out to the man himself so we can ask those questions? So, Mr. Christian, can you tell us about how this came about and kind of what's going on in this very specific case of Ape Nation, Wall Street, all of that? Like, what can you share with us right now?
Well, Matt, as you know, myself and a consortium of lawyers who have done this with me. So for the record, just realize it's not just my firm that's been doing all this. There's Alan Pollack with Warshaw Bernstein. There's other firms that are going to be doing cases with us.
Oh, Wes, Mr. Christian, if you're there, you froze on us a little bit.
Which is a stock manipulation case, which is our most recent case. But in particular, relative to your question about going on with the...
Oops. Folks, sorry, we're having a little bit of a technical issue. Maybe can we do...
honor each and every one of you, including you, Matt, for the courage it takes to step up and join the team to fight this carnage. Carnage that really is financial treason on America and really on the world. And the carnage is essentially selling, as you know, assets electronically and not delivering them, which in this case for the apes is the stock.
Okay.
And of course, the two most prominent cases that you guys are working with are AMC and GameStop. But the reality is there's hundreds, if not over 1,000 of companies that have experienced this in the past, and certainly many that are experiencing it today. So, you know, out of respect for your growing numbers, which I understand worldwide is in totality like 4.5 million with all the subgroups and the Reddit subgroups and whatever. I hear crazy numbers. Is that true? 4.5 million?
So it's actually confirmed from a share recount over 4 million individual owners. Okay.
So the point is that to honor really your courage and your time and effort, because most of you men and women are volunteers, you know, I agreed to come alongside you and go public and say, hey, I applaud this group. I'm aligned with this group. And of course, it's got a cross section of people in it. I'm sure some of them are legitimate and some of them are probably work for the other side. Who knows, you know, that's happened in most of my cases where they infiltrate your camp, right? So anyway, the point is over time, I keep getting massive amounts of emails and communications, you know, help me. Well, I can't really address individuals for multiple reasons. One, a single individual, you can't really go about doing a case for them because it's cost so many dollars to do a case. And so ultimately, what I decided would be in the best interest of this space, this legal space, and this mission, which is to help stop this and further expose it to the world so they see the magnitude of the carnage and its impact on families and jobs and technology, and for God's sakes, everything we do to live, I would try to figure out, is there somebody who's willing to step up and start this and somehow, and I'm not certain how that's going to come about, organize a group of individuals under that one person that is going to put together monies to ultimately allow me and my colleagues to go out and hire the experts and hire certain people to investigate and do due diligence on whether, you know, are there claims there, which my gut tells me, well, of course there are, based on, you know, I've seen like over 60 plus due diligence on companies over the last 20 years. We filed 20 lawsuits, I think 21 now, counting the one we recently filed. Most of those are resolved. A couple are still pending. But I know cancer when I see it, financial cancer when I see it, and these companies have financial cancer, which is essentially counterfeit shares, either because of the relending of the shares habitually or selling shares that they don't deliver, or usually both, and other nefarious things, okay, that are in there. So at the end of the day, Chad Brewer is an ape. He's a two-term or 2 tours in Afghanistan, ex-military Army guy, grew up in the country, who said, look, I'll step up. And I didn't know Chad before this. So I've only known him a short period of time. So it's not just about Chad. This is about the movement. And he's the one that filled that space, just to be blunt. And what he's doing, just to be clear on this issue, Matt, I have nothing to do with GoFundMe. I have nothing to do with raising the money. I don't even want to know about that.
Okay.
All I want to know is that ultimately, somebody's got to put some money together to allow me to go out and hire the necessary people to properly investigate this. Obviously, we know how to do that because we've done it over 60 times to public companies. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we know how to bring the claims. Go read our recent complaint, Harrington in the Southern District of New York. So at the end of the day, my mission is the same mission I started with when I first talked to you and got introduced to the ape community, and that's to expose this, prosecute this, root this out. And as I've said many times, you and your group bring a extraordinary dimension of accountability to this that Wall Street didn't count on. Being a lawyer is one thing, but doing what you do, which is effectively being a bigger bully than Wall Street is, it creates a sensation where they may have to excuse themselves and go to the bathroom before they jump in the deep end with you. So this is just another manifestation of that, another division of that, another sector of that. So, Chad Brewer, who I think is Chad 080914, is the person who stepped up to do that. It is real. I've already chastised him bluntly for putting my fee agreement. Why he would do that, I don't know, but I'm past that. You would never do that with your lawyer, put your fee agreement on the internet. So our communications with your lawyer, those are all privileged. So again, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and he's going to be learning from this. But
oops, we lost him for a second. Hang on, folks. Let's just some technical issues. This happened previously, and we just gave it a couple seconds, and he hopped right back in.
In your trading undertaking, in other words, consolidate your efforts, consolidate your time, and let's go investigate. Who can be sued and for what. So basically, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, I myself haven't spoken with Chad. I'll try to get him on here so we can get it. I know one question we're going to get. Thank you very much for confirming this is a thing, because people, I'm seeing it in chat and I'm very, very excited. Are you yourself active on Twitter? Do you have a Twitter account that you use?
I do, but I don't use it, just to be candid, because I just don't have time. We did use it yesterday because Chad was getting complaints about, is this real? Is this a scam? This and that. And then apparently, I didn't know this till later, after he put the fee agreement up there, certain of my colleagues are like, tell me you didn't do that, Wes. I'm like, no, I didn't. And so that further made people think it was a scam, because frankly, no lawyer would do that.
Gotcha.
So Chad asked me as an accommodation, would I confirm that it was real, to eliminate that. So just as a courtesy to him, I did that. But no, I don't use my Twitter account just because I don't have time, frankly. I mean, okay. I'm working 12 hours a day anyway. So
the account that did confirm Chad, though, do you know your own tag? Is it J. West Christian, I believe?
I don't know. I can pull it up here. I mean, I wish I could tell you I knew, but that's terrible. But I'm a dinosaur, Matt, when it comes to that, buddy.
I think I can find it. I just want to confirm so we all know who's who and who isn't.
I am the one that sent the tweet yesterday, for sure.
Okay, the tweet yesterday.
Let's see.
I believe it's J. West Christian. Chad 080914 is real. Today I am disclosing I know and am working with Chad. Check Discord.
That was my tweet.
Okay, so folks, there you have it. That is the confirmed Twitter. It doesn't sound like he'll be using it much, but like that is true confirmation of Chad who has reached out to him. We're just trying to get everything like I guess straight here, so we all know like who's who in this scenario. Overall, I don't know what you can or can't disclose about it legally, but is this, I guess, higher general, is this a class action lawsuit? Like what even are we even dealing with?
We don't know, Matt, at this point.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
these cases are very complex, and I want to be clear with the APE community about this. This is a long-term undertaking. I mean, the typical due diligence takes months, not days, not weeks. So this isn't a short-term fix, that's going to make the stock pop up or going to create some miracle. That doesn't happen. These people don't just roll over and die, okay? So ultimately, the other thing I want to say publicly is that it's going to be imperative that these companies, the board of these companies, or at least the officers of these companies, help us in ways that they can legally do so for us to address this, because there's certain information that we need from certain entities that ultimately the company is the best way to get that information to determine the magnitude of the claims and who's responsible, et cetera. So we're going to be working on strategies, frankly, to come alongside these companies and convince them, hey, your group of shareholders needs some information to try and redress this wrong. And ultimately, that's a reasonable request. And if they don't, then we'll have to think about other things. So at the end of the day, we're here to investigate, consult, maybe answer some questions along the way to the community if they have questions. But we can't get in a situation where, we got 1,000 questions a day coming in. That we're not here for that. We're here to move the needle and to keep everybody informed and make a difference in this, in eliminating these illegal practices, frankly. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely appreciate that. So overall, just folks listening in, this is the start of it. We can confirm it's a thing. Mr. Christian is working with Chad. I will reach out to Chad myself, get him on here. Mr. Christian isn't himself tied with the GoFundMe or anything like that.
I'm not.
He's not tied with it. No. We're just trying to.
I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so. I'm just trying to let everyone know that this is a real thing. And I know I only have a couple more minutes with you, but while you're here, I really want to, I guess, if you're willing to, you use the term financial cancer. And I think that's heavy. And I actually think it's accurate. I'm not disagreeing with you here, but within this community, it's a lot of people who are new to the market, especially the legalities of the market of what is and isn't possible. If you can or can't tell us, legally, have you personally, and like I know the answer to these because you and I have talked about it, I just want to get it out there so they can hear this. Have you seen before where a company or specifically a prime brokerage has loaned out the same set of shares multiple times? Have you seen that before?
Yes.
Have you seen it before where they've allowed a company to take a short and they never, ever borrowed the shares?
Yes.
Have you seen it before? And this might be a little bit longer. This system, people are referring to kind of a double book, a second book, potentially not a real price. Could you elaborate on that in terms of like what you've seen in terms of the market?
What do you when you say a double book, you mean clearing shares versus clearing them through the DTC? What are you talking about?
Maybe. So with this, there's a little bit of an assumption that like something, that's the terminology within the community right now. There's like a second book that might be hiding some sort of real price. But even with that, maybe this clearing, maybe that's the point you just want to dive in just so we can all learn a little bit.
Well, clearing is a process by which shares are cleared broker to broker, not through the Depository Trust Corporation. So it's another vehicle through which shares are cleared, okay? And then ultimately, separate and apart from that, as a different issue, the DTC offers a service called the Obligation Warehouse. You can go to their website and find it, where fails to deliver actually go. Mm-hmm. Let's call it one of the failed to deliver graveyards. There's multiple graveyards, but basically, what your community should do, Matt, is go to sec.gov and go to finra.gov or finra.org or whatever FINRA's website is. Look up all the enforcement actions in the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. And much of what I'm telling you can be corroborated by those enforcement actions. And I know that because some of those some of the information from some of those enforcement actions came from our older cases. So yes, that goes on. It's real. It's still real. It's still occurring. And the financial cancer part of it, Matt, is the fact that once these illegal shares are embodied in this company, and it's large enough to where the bad guys aren't going to give up, then they only have one choice, and that's to grow it, to grow the cancer, because the only way they can keep control of the price is to keep printing artificial shares so that ultimately demand doesn't exceed supply. Because if demand exceeds supply, the price is going up. If supply exceeds demand, the price is going down. It's that simple. So that's what it is at the end of the day. But listen, I have about one more minute. I got on here just as an accommodation to you.
Yeah.
And to clear up this issue, because I'm getting, massive amounts of emails. And ultimately, what I really want the community to do is start emailing Chad and whoever else he chooses to bring aboard. Why? Because you apes need to get a little more organized. If we're going to go about doing this, and we certainly have the group and the space to do that and the bench to do that, obviously it's going to take dollars to do that. And we pretty much know what that costs over time because we've done so many of them. But let them get with Chad and whoever else he chooses to bring aboard. And by doing that, organize this in a little better way than each person saying, help me here, help me here, help me here. Gotcha. It's really a systemic problem for all of you. Most likely every shareholder is getting impacted the same way, more or less. It may differ day to day or month to month, but substantially it's probably the same. And so why not get together in the same way you've organized your efforts by what you're doing, organize your efforts similarly on trying to do some due diligence legally on what can be done. That's the simple version.
All right. I appreciate that. And I'll take that one step further. Folks, if you're listening to this now, if you're a member of my specific community, I would ask you, do not reach out to Mr. Christian directly. He's busy. He can't handle that many emails and messages. Please, if you have something about this, reach out to Chad, and then he will have the ability to kind of aggregate everything and get it over when it's due. So let's just be a little respectful of time and just how many hours there are in a day. But overall, thank you so much. Folks, he did this like at the last second. I mean, if you were on stream today, I was like, oh, I should try to message him. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to make this possible. And in the future, I'm excited to hear about any of the updates of how this is going. But once again, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, we're happy to do so. Just to be patient and stay tuned. Be patient and stay tuned. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Folks. There you go. Hang on to the moon. All right, I am back. Here we go. So that was it. It's all true. It is happening. This they are attempting to do what they can in the proper legal route avenue. And once again, I don't want to set up expectations of we're going to have answers tomorrow or anything like that. It's the legal process. The justice system is not known to be like the Usain Bolt of the world, but overall, so patience, let's be calm. The way we are with the stock, calm, cool, collected, that's how we should also treat this potential legal case. If you have any questions, anything like that, please do not reach out to Mr. Christian. Please reach out to Chad. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'll get Chad on, or I'll like verify his Twitter and everything, just so we all know, like he said, we have to be a bit more organized. We have to treat this like with a high amount of responsibility, because that's how we're going to execute on this. So overall, yes, I'm very, very excited, because I think this could lead to something awesome, but let's also be realistic about the timeline, and let's also manage this in realistic ways so it just optimizes our chance of being successful. And right there, I got in a couple questions at the end. Yes, naked shorts. And also talking about loaning out the same shares. The book thing was a little bit of a hesitant question, and that was just more of, instead of the DTCC, you get clearing by other brokers. That's something to look into. Trying to get a little bit more information for the community about this double book, not necessarily being confirmed. It sounds like kind of this X-reg. I would also like in the future to ask a couple questions about this FTD warehouse, because under my impression that I thought FTDs had to get taken care of, but It sounds like some FTDs might go into this warehouse and just eventually die. But with that, that's just some assumptions. I do want to look for some answers on that. Very, very interesting stuff. So overall, while you're in here, I won't be posting like an update video, so I'm going to do it now. I'm going to give you your AMC and GME wrap-up video for the day. And then at the end, I've never really done something like this. Maybe if you have questions at the end, we could do it. But I'm going to give you a really quick AMC and GME rundown, especially if you just didn't have time today. If you were just here for the Mr. Christian interview for the validity of that, you're good to go. But I just want to give you an update. AMC, one of the first green days in a while, and ended up the day 7.69%. It's at 36. After hours, above 38. We are running in post-market trading up 6.53% as I'm saying this live. GME closed out the day pretty much neutral, 166.82, but also in post-market green, up 3%. So it's been a while, but both of our stocks right here, green, 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 green is good. And don't forget, when in doubt, zoom out. All right, so what is going on? I want to clarify. I believe this is the GoFundMe, but before we do it, the name matches. Everything seems to be matching. But hey, Chad, if you happen to be listening right now, I would love for you to reach out on Twitter just so I can confirm everything. Just so you know, this is what was sent to me. I cannot at this point confirm this is the exact proper GoFundMe, but check my Twitter in the future, because if I can confirm this is the thing, I will share it with everyone and say, hey, this is the one we were talking about. But just give me that, please, please, please give me that opportunity to confirm that this is the correct GoFundMe. In terms of Ortex today, there was 1.34 million borrowed against AMC with a net of 408,000. The short interest is 15.89%. Today, we started off the day with shares on loan of 102. We're probably cooking around 103 when this updates in the morning. Utilization 92.42%. One of the big questions I got today was, Matt, how in the world could shares on loan and short interest go up, but utilization come down? Please remember what utilization is. It's the shares on loan divided by the total loanable shares. X divided by Y. Those numbers are both dynamic. They change. So in the scenario where X gets greater and the ratio drops, that means Y, the number you're dividing by, the total loanable shares, also increases, and in fact, by a greater magnitude. That's how you have the scenario, the mathematical scenario, excuse me, where the shares on loan increases, but utilization drops. So second, potentially more important, right here, we have the fails to deliver. This is what we were just talking about with Mr. Christian. Look at this. From June 18th all the way up until June 30th, spike, spike, spike. I mean, it probably averaged around 3.5 million shares. Like 18th to the 30th, I mean, we had 12 days in a row just fails to deliver, huge spikes. This is what people were talking about with being on the threshold list and all of that, and fails to deliver. All naked shorts are FTDs, but not all FTDs are naked shorts. Please remember that there are various types of FTDs, and naked shorts happen to be one of them, one of the more prevalent ones. So can I guarantee that all of these spikes, 3 million, 3.7 million, 3.8 million, 4.4 million, can I guarantee that they're all naked shorts? No. Do I personally believe that a large percentage is actually naked shorts? Yeah, but at that point, we're just throwing out our own theories. So obviously we have to put on our tinfoil hat if we're just coming up with these conspiracy theories. So with these conspiracy theories, yeah, that's my opinion. It makes sense. I think it's one of the most prevalent types of fails to deliver is a naked short, and we're seeing massive spikes. Remember, this is the running total. Like, you wouldn't add these up. You wouldn't add day to day. It's like the running total. So as of June 30th, there was about 4.2 million, but it sounds like the situation gets even more complicated with this FTD warehouse where they go to die. And then we know that they hide FTDs, prime brokers do, by acting as if they're net long or net short. They cover up the position with deep in the money calls and options. So I would argue that these are the ones that they simply just did not cover up properly. These are the ones that they couldn't even hide. So I would view this as more of like a conservative floor value, if anything, just higher. The next reasonable question is, well, why does it drop off? Are there none in July? This is just a reporting issue. We get the first half of July, where my mouse is now, at the end of July. It's always lagging behind by multiple weeks. So in fact, we know because it was on the threshold list all the way up until Friday, July 9th. We can guarantee all the way up until July 8th, July 9th, right here on this green day, we know all of these at least 2.5 million, at least 2.5 million all the way up till July 8th. We know there was a bit of a dip on July 9th. And then after that, we kind of don't know anything. So that's something that we're waiting on. Are there fails to deliver in here? Yes, they're just not reported yet. In terms of GameStop, pretty much net neutral, short interest of 14.78%, shares on loan 8 million, and utilization 36.39. To the best of my understanding, if you're curious about this NFT GameStop thing, I know there was a lot of anticipation for it happening yesterday afternoon, as in July 14th. I don't think much came from it though. So I'm still waiting for news and updates, but I do want to point out how the short interest is actually going upward. We're going from 8.29% to now 14. I just wanted to point out that trend that we're seeing in GME's short interest. Let's talk a little bit about some of these stocks. This is the overall market. Yesterday, it hit a new all-time high. Today, it's taking a breather. This most likely has to deal with people realizing that inflation is in fact not transitory. And before we know it, I do think that our Federal Reserve is going to turn a little bit more from dovish to hawkish, because right now, and that just means like, what are they doing with interest rates? Because their main focus is on employment. Basically, dovish means interest rates down or holding them low. Hawkish means increasing it so you can fight inflation. Right now, our Federal Reserve is definitely highly dovish, and eventually they're going to have to turn hawkish to kind of fix what's going on. And they gave something of like, oh, we think inflation might go up, but oh, in the long run, it's transitory. Nah. We've all been gaslit before. Probably not going to happen. For me, my realistic call is just a healthy. Apologies for whatever. YouTube hates me today. Fun fact, YouTube just messing with my streams. My stream all day today, before I completely digress and like lose my sanity, that stream today completely taken down. YouTube took my stream today, yeeted it straight off a cliff. They're like, see you, dude, hang 10. So the stream today completely down, like YouTube straight up banned it. Like, nah, man, we're not dealing with that. Where were we? So we did interview. Whoa. We are moving in post market. We are moving. We are grooving. Boom goes the dynamite. You gotta like it. You gotta like it. What is going on here? Man. YouTube really messing with me today. Folks, if you have any issues, I think you could just reload the page. I don't know. YouTube is like they're being something. I don't know. I just know we're moving in post market. Gets me excited. So overall, we talked about the market. I was teaching you about different birds, doves, and hawks, all that stuff. I don't know what point I cut out at, but you're probably not here to learn about that anyway. So what we have going on, it's no lie that AMC has been selling off. All of July, AMC and July clearly don't get along, but it looks like we are still trying to bounce at this 30 to 32 region. In fact, after 4 red days, we're finally putting in a green day. I'm happy to see it. So what we're looking for now is, we're actually already there in post market, 39.44. We're looking for it to recapture. The first major resistance is between 40 and 42. We want to overtake that. And then from there, we're pretty much watching 48 to 52 roughly. Like, let's just call it 50, but it's a region. That it's not like the stock market game doesn't work in like terms of an exact cent. It's just not how it works. This is more of, okay, like this region between 48, 52. So that's the next one after 40 to 42. And looking at this post-market action, we're ripping, folks. We are ripping. We might open up above this 42 region. And then the next one we're trying to take out is 49. How am I coming up with this support and resistance? It's nothing special. I have nothing under this hat. There's not a computer in here telling me what to do or anything like that. It's literally just areas that the stock has bounced off of before or been rejected by before. Support, support, support. We also have some resistance around, what is this, 49.79. I'm just calling it 50 because it's close enough. So overall, the game plan for AMC tomorrow is to turn up the heat on all of these shorts, the potential 80 plus million shorts, and then see if we can recapture the technical level of 50 to 52. Above 52 would be a notable technical breakout. I also want to point out this. So if you skip July 8th, if you just skip that, between July 6th, 7th, and then really the past 4 days, not counting today, look how perfect this sell-off has been. Perfect, 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 perfect. They messed this one up on July 8th, and then it was 4 days of perfect selling. I was talking about this on stream, and anyone who comes at you with the statement, the apes are selling. No, in fact, I don't think any humans are selling. Look how systematically, mathematically, algorithmically perfect this selling has been. To me, this is not human interaction. This is computers selling and buying. You can see it both ways, but what I see, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Remember, I'm just wearing a tinfoil hat. It looks like perfect selling. Like I said, they messed up July 8th, but besides that, 6 of these 7 days, it's just the perfect 45-degree angle. Algorithm selling, selling, selling tells me that, I think it's a psychology play. I think they're just trying to scare people, and I'm not buying it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it's now we're fighting robots of sorts. And I don't know if you've seen the Terminator movies, but it doesn't really end well for the robots. Just my thought. So overall, those are the levels I'm looking for on AMC, GME. In terms of GME, this is all consolidation back in here. If you're looking at April, May, we have support between 140, 160. It's a big mess of consolidation. I'm hoping it acts as support. We're looking for this bounce right off of it. Similar to AMC, where the RSI is very low, the stock's gone lower, 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 but the RSI is actually a bit higher. That is bullish divergence, as in there's less bearish momentum. We're kind of seeing a somewhat of a similar setup. Not like this did dip lower, but if you're looking at just the intraday action, if you're kind of comparing this to where GME has been, once again, we have another kind of weird setup of some bullish divergence. I do admit it's stronger. Like you can see this technical pattern stronger in AMC, but I don't think GME is really that far off. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping tomorrow to close out the week strong, really, really looking for AMC and GME to pop. And honestly, at this, now that I'm like, hey, man, live streaming post-market, I haven't done this much, but I'm getting excited about this. Like, this is awesome. With this action in post-market, makes me more excited for the trading day tomorrow, Friday, July 16th. So overall, we talked with Wes. We did the short interest update. I talked about FTDs. Remember, these will load in. We did that. We did the chart breakdown. Benzinga, we had some cool news coming from them today. So overall, I'm normally excited, but now I'm seeing this post-market live with all of you. I think I'm more excited than normal. This stuff is awesome. So that's kind of what I have for you guys. I appreciate it. The plan for me, this is it. That was the update video. I'm not posting an extra one tonight. This is it. I just wanted to get this out there. So if you want to spread the word of Wes Christian, if you guys just want to help me out with the algorithm, like the likes, all that stuff, if you want to share that video with a friend, so at least the Wes Christian part, so they know it's like real and legitimate. It sounds like I saw some people on Twitter talking about how Chad, like he was seeing this and he was confirming it. If so, I hope he DM me. If you're listening right now, DM me. I just want to get connected with you so we can get some things like just, I guess, worked out and verified for the rest of the community. But overall, for me, I will catch you. I'm streaming all day tomorrow, 9 to 4. I will be here, not going anywhere. You guys know the drill. You have my back. I have your back. That's how this thing works. But overall, thank you for this little impromptu afternoon, night session. I really, really appreciate all the support. And remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.